Vanakkam. Today we're in Chennai, the cultural capital of South India. We are here to interact with the joint managing director of Johnson Lifts and Escalators, Mr. V.N. Thomas. Mr. Thomas is a prominent figure across India, particularly in the southern region. His company, Johnson Lifts, is the first company in India to have started manufacturing escalators in the country. Majority of the lifts and escalators that you see in the metro stations today are manufactured by his company. Interestingly, the new Parliament building lift is also manufactured in the company. Without any further ado, let's dive straight into the conversation now. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your time.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction.
Can you tell us something about yourself first?
I'm a mechanical engineer by profession. Graduated from IIT Madras in 1973. Subsequently, I joined Hindustan Aeronautics as a management trainee. And in 1985, I moved over to Johnson Lifts. And it's an association of almost 40 years. It's been a long one.
Sir, what about Johnson Lifts? If you can tell us more about the company.
It's a 100% Indian company and a private limited company. Started in 1963 by Mr. K.J. John. Initially, it was a trading company, and subsequently in 1970, we started manufacturing lifts. Right now, we operate pan-India, and then we have about 82 branches. We have 4 factories spread across the country with manufacturing area of almost 1 million or 10 lakh square feet. We are about over 8,000 employees. We also export to many of the neighboring countries, Middle East, Saudi Arabia, and the African countries.
Sir, and what are your key projects and target markets?
Target markets are basically housing apartments, apartment buildings, then of course commercial buildings, then railways, quite a bit of openings are there in railways, metros, airports, and of course, as I said, exports, yeah.
Any prestigious projects that you've been a part of?
Of course, there are many. In fact, yeah, I'm very proud to say that we are the one who supplied all the lifts in the Parliament building. It was very prestigious. Currently, we are supplying and then erecting the PMO's office. And then around month, we supplied the lifts. We supplied the lifts and escalators in Varanasi railway stations. Right now, we are erecting escalators in Leh Airport, which is one of the altitude wise. Then we erected lifts in Pamban Bridge. You know, recently the temple in UAE. It was a very special project because Pujaris had certain specifications that the lift should not touch the earth and things like that. So we had to do some special fixtures, etc. for that. And yeah, many more.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Sir, yours is one of the oldest Swadeshi companies to have started manufacturing escalators and lifts. How have you seen the evolution of the industry in terms of national growth and globally?
Yeah, earlier, see, after the independence, probably we only had about 3 or 4 Indian companies, and all of them are perished. Right now, worth mentioning, there are only 2 or 3 Indian companies which all started much later. Because we have been competing with all multinationals, of course, like Otis, Kone, Schindler, Mitsubishi, Toshiba, Fujitec, and you name it, all the multinationals are in India. So obviously, our product has to be of their standards in quality, in service, as well as the safety standard. And we have been matching them in every sense. If you look at the evolution of lifts and what was in the 50s and what it is today, there is tremendous changes. First of all, when I talk about the drive mechanism, earlier it was simple motor coupled onto a gear, and then you have the output. Then that slowly changed over to two-speed motors, then into the DC motors. The whole idea behind was the smooth acceleration and smooth deceleration. Then we see the VVF drives introduced into the driving the motor. Now it is the permanent magnet motors, which is usually a good acceleration and deceleration, and the ride is very smooth. In fact, we were the first to introduce a VVF drive in India. I mean, it's not a small joke. And similarly, if you see the controller, those days the controller was more or less, say, 80% mechanical and only maybe 15 or 20% electrical. Today, the roles have changed completely. It's all microprocessor based controllers. and then even the communication. So there's a tremendous change, evolution of what was in the 50s and the 60s and what it is today. And it is the same all over the world. So that way we have come a long way, and we are matching the best products in the world.
And sir, how has the growth in major urban infrastructure development programs helped your industry?
It was basically housing. There was a big boom in the 70s and the 80s in housing, and then a lot of multi-story buildings came up. Along with that, the office buildings came up. And the infrastructure started in the 2000, and it took some time to catch up in the railways and then, the metros and things like that. So all these projects have helped us tremendously, yes.
Sir, and what are your upcoming projects, if you can mention some of them?
We have almost done 20 metros in India. And right now we are doing about 10 metros. For example, Delhi 4th stage, Bangalore 2nd stage, Chennai 2nd stage, Nagpur Metro, Pune Metro, Calcutta Metro. That's the metros are a big job that provides us work for lifts as well as escalators. Of course, escalators has to be manufactured as per their standards. And then housing is booming, and I think it's doing very well in the housing. Similarly, the office complex, office buildings requirements gone up, the malls have gone up. Railways have been into big projects like they're trying to innovate, or they're going to change the almost all the big railway stations, even the small railway stations, to traveler-friendly railway stations, requiring escalators and elevators. A small station requires at least minimum 4 escalators and 2 or 3 elevators. That's how things are changing.
Sir, I'm sure there's a lot of competition also in the market. So what kind of R&D are you bringing in to face this competition?
As I told you, we have to match the multinationals in every sense. Being in quality, being in innovations, being in service. We have to match the multinationals. There's no way around. And we understand that, and we are fully geared up for that. We have an innovation center here where over 50 engineers seriously work on it. And we have a test tower of say, 130 feet where we test all the components, and then only we put into regular productions. We are now putting up test tower of 300 feet, which would be the highest in India. When we put up this, we were the highest. We understand that now over a period of time, things are going to change. The new concepts are going to come up. We are funding few startups, not in India, abroad. Let's hope some crazy ideas will come up, and then entirely a new concept in the vertical transportation.
How do you think stainless steel fits into manufacturing lifts and escalators?
Let me talk. Initially, it was all wood. The cabin used to be wood, and then subsequently it changed over to steel, etc., etc. And stainless steel was right. It was accepted very well in the market, both by the customer as well as by the manufacturer. The customer liked it because it's of its quality of durability, a new look, and of course a designer stainless steel sheets and made out. It gives you a really a nice feeling. And the manufacturer like it because the existing machineries could handle both mild steel as well as a stainless steel manufacturer.
Sir, when did your collaboration with Jindal Stainless begin, and what do you think about this collaboration?
Earlier, the stainless steel was luxury, and I think when Jindal came, things slowly changed, and I think we have the association for the last 15 years, and it has been very good. And then many occasions we have been coming up with or meeting our requirement, especially some of the designer sheets you have developed is wonderful. I mean, earlier we had a problem. We used to import these sheets from UK. And we ran into some difficulties in importing these because of the excise duty government policies. Jindal stepped in very well and then solved our issues.
What is that one message that you would like to give to the future leaders who wish to take their company to new heights?
I wish I had a one sentence answer for this. You've got to be very passionate about your company. There's no way about it. If you ask me that, probably you got to sleep with it. It has to be a 24/7 product, and it has to be with you all the time. And you got to be all the time on the lookout for new ideas, new concepts, what's going on in the market, what is the customer wants. Then, of course, other thing is real hard work. And I would say, along with that, sincerity. Yes, you got to be sincere. You got to be sincere with your suppliers. You got to be sincere with your colleagues and subordinates. I think that has been my principle. Yeah, I would say if a guy is really passionate about what he's doing, I think I'm sure that he is bound to succeed. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.